first week in account and client management, we were introduced to the major project, which is what we're working on now, and that's how Taylor, Sofia, Keira and I came together when we formed our groups in the first week. So far we've decided to go with the air purifier idea. We think that that's an excellent tech solution that will address the social issue of climate and environment and pollution. From the week 1 lecture pods, we were able to identify what makes great client service, which would set the standards for our pitch and kind of give us an idea of what's expected from us and what would be considered the best suit. Having a creative approach when creating this project idea was important to keep the pitch relevant to the modern economy. The group aimed to use a creative product to help the social issue throughout the organisation. Throughout week 2, the ongoing issue the group had was trying to pick a suitable yet interesting and innovative solution. We went through about 3 potential products from Kickstarter till we agreed on the final V-Breathe air purifier. When we finally decided on a product, it was a really big and fulfilling step, which meant we were able to start our pitch and generate more creative strategies and ideas. Personally, I thought it would take our team longer to agree on one final product, mainly because I thought we would be able to find something even more interesting to bring forward. But after going through everyone's suggestions, it was easy for all of us to agree upon the V-Breathe air purifier.
In week 2, we also watched a guest lecture from 2 professionals within the industry, Jack Smith and John Dawson, who addressed with us the 5 steps to ideas success, which assisted us greatly in completing the final project.
In account and client management for week 3, we explored within the lecture pods part 1 of the managing project. Across the 2 lectures, we outlined the project, the deliverables, and the goals. This lecture, we believe, was extremely relevant for the team to consider and had a major impact on the way in which we produced our work. The deliverables part of the lecture was extremely helpful in outlining what needed to be completed and how best to achieve this. It further assisted in understanding how to decide on a project statement and define what goals would drive our task. Upon reflection of this lecture and further the discussion within our group meeting, I feel as though it was beneficial in ensuring that the group stayed on task and understood the workload ahead for the assessment. The difficult aspect that came from this week's lecture was that although we understood the workload, it seemed confronting at times knowing that this work needed to be done at a timely manner. However, with the guided step-by-step tutorial, we found it helped greatly in easing the stress that we soon would have.
Week 4 consisted of breaking down managing our projects, part 2. So the main focus of this video was your risks and constraints in your team project, your assumptions, which is to check but never assume, and a breakdown of all our working documents that needed to be put into our first project summary. These included your work breakdown structure and your deliverables, and really went through telling us how to fill these in.
Week 5 has taught us how to not waste time, and this has been really helpful with our major project and helped us to utilise our time and apply what we learned in the lecture to how we're doing our assessment. After submitting our project summary statement last week, we were all quite clear on what we're doing, so by this point of the semester we understand where we're going and what we need to do next. Also, learning about procrastination was really interesting, and it was really relevant at this point of the semester because it's what most of us are beginning to do, which is not good. And what was most useful from this lecture is the tips for how to conduct great meetings. So one of the most important things that we found was just like minimizing distractions. So mobile phones, like turn them off, put them away or whatnot. Keep technological distractions out of it, and our group meetings go so much better. Through the feedback we received from our project summary statement, we decided to pitch to Energy Australia, which is associated with our tech solution.
Okay, so week 6 specifically discussed relationships and how to manage challenging relationships within your work environment. Throughout the weeks, our group learned each other's work personalities, which helped us understand how to work together. Our team found it easy to find common ground to blend our personalities better. For example, our group bonded over personal lives and getting started on the project. Our team was able to listen to everyone's ideas and establish rapport. Throughout this week, we learned to understand and establish individual work personalities as well as strategies to make the best of every relationship. Actually, the relationship we made within the group was a highlight of the unit and project since we all got along really well. It made our assignment and the class time more enjoyable and helped us work collaboratively without negative impacts on our relationship.
Major focus on being proactive. This lecture came at the perfect time as it reminded the group of the workload that we had ahead and to remain performing at the consistent and hard work we had already done. Lecture Pod 1 addressed the benefits of being proactive, which included ensuring you have great flexibility in choosing how to do things rather than just doing them at the last minute. This was a key highlight of the week as it reminded the group to ensure that we maintained communication on where we were at and reconfirmed that the meeting time still suited all team members. Further to this, Lecture Pod 2 challenged our group slightly. It discussed that going beyond to deliver the unexpected is necessary. We found ourselves looking at some of the work we had produced and evaluating whether we had gone beyond to impress our client. However, in saying this, we have later found that this assisted in ensuring that we went back and fixed our work along with maintaining this standard throughout the assessment to ensure that we produced the desired work for our client.
Our documentary in week 8 focused on overcoming our own challenges. It really broke down the expectations that needed for when breaking down a challenge as well as preparing for that challenge itself. It also taught us to acknowledge our fears, that to overcome something we needed to acknowledge it first. It also encouraged us to break the challenge, don't lose sight of your end goal, and to congratulate yourself on your own success.
So it is now week 9 and we are currently on our mid-semester break. Hooray! But so far we are up to date, everything's pretty much sorted. We're just finalizing our working documents and we're putting together our videos, and the contents from week 1 to 8 has really helped us so far and it shaped the whole assessment together.
Okay, so week 10 gave us the important notes to consider for the presentation of our pitch. It gave us insight on how to approach our pitch and more importantly how to create an outstanding impression on the client. Watching the pitch also helped put in perspective what a real life pitch would entail as well as the work behind it. And it was really eye-opening to see how presentations go down almost every day within this industry. Transparency and bravery were 2 practices that stood out to our group when presenting. For my own personal reflection, this week was most important to me. Understanding how to better myself when presenting was key, usually because I get really nervous. But yeah, working together became one of the group highlights within this week, which was really showcased through our preparation for the pitch. We all organised how to deliver our ideas as well as timed the presentation to keep uncertainty down and the pitch as slick as possible.
With the presentation fast approaching, Week 11's lectures assisted greatly in reminding our group of the expectations when it comes to good communication and the way in which you present yourself. It further helped with the group project as we knew following and practicing these key steps will help us in getting the most out of the presentation. Upon reflection, I found it beneficial that the lecture did not just outline the good presentation traits, but rather showed us examples of what to do. A key takeaway from this lecture was the importance of telling a story when presenting, as it allows the audience to feel emotionally invested. It's important to know these things as our group then felt we needed to reevaluate the way we were going to approach the presentation to ensure we got the best result.